stations, all stations. Roger.
The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. You may have heard this before. It means training and readiness in times of peace are crucial for success in wartime. And India has been preparing, both before and after the Pahalgam attack. Yesterday, the Indian Air Force launched Exercise Akraman. The word Akraman literally translates to attack. The exercise comes right after the terror attack in Pahalgam. As Pakistan increases ceasefire violations, India is preparing for an escalation.
India's Air Force is in full beast mode right now. After years of patience, exercises like Raman are sending a brutal message to Pakistan. We're not waiting to defend. We're training to dominate. Palki Sharma breaks it all down on Vantage, showing how India's military has evolved from reactive strikes to full offensive readiness. We're talking Rafale, Sukhoi, upgraded missiles, S-400 systems locked onto every enemy airbase, and most importantly, a new mindset. Hit us, and you'll be hit back harder. India is sweating in peace so they don't bleed in war. And trust me, the Air Force isn't sweating for no reason.
Rafale and Su-30 jets are in the skies. Here's what we know about the exercise. Here's what it is about. It's about precision strikes, air dominance sorties, and integrated warfare. The aim? To simulate a real-time high-intensity conflict. So the message is loud and clear. India's military is switching gears to offensive mode. The drills are taking place over central India. The Indian Air Force has mobilized its strike force. We told you about the Rafale and the Su-30 jets. Fighter pilots are practicing complex missions, like long-range missions and airstrikes in mountainous regions. The idea is quite simple. Practice to breach enemy lines and deliver a deadly blow. Does it sound familiar? It should, because this is a doctrine that India has used before. I'm talking about the Balakot strikes from February 2019. That's when the Indian Air Force bombed terror camps deep inside Pakistan. You may remember the terror attack in Pulwama. A suicide bomber attacked a convoy of Indian security forces. 40 soldiers were killed, 40. All fingers pointed to Pakistan, from funding to training the suicide bomber. India was shocked and angry. And 12 days later, India retaliated. Mirage 2000 jets crossed into Pakistan. They bombed Jaish-e-Mohammed terror camps in Pakistan's Balakot. The mission lasted a total of 21 minutes. It was the first airstrike on Pakistani soil since 1971. A bold move that shattered Pakistan's nuclear blackmail. Balakot was not just a military strike, it was a message. India's doctrine and threshold both had shifted, and terror would be met with force. What came next was an air skirmish, where India lost a MiG-21. Balakot was a tactical win for India, but it also exposed a few gaps, like lack of joint planning, delays in intelligence sharing, and the need for modern air power. Remember, all of this happened 6 years ago. India took the lessons and began the work, and look at what has changed since then. Starting with the defense budget. India's defense budget has grown from $42 billion to $75 billion. That's a jump of nearly 82%. Modernization has been relentless. India has invested heavily on offensive capabilities. The Air Force now has Rafale jets. These jets can carry 2 lethal weapons. The first is the Meteor. This is a long-range air-to-air missile. It can hit targets more than 150 kilometers away. The second is the Scalp missile, a long-range air-to-ground missile. It can take out terror camps 500 kilometers away. The absence of Rafales was felt in Balakot, but now India has them.
Let's not sugarcoat it. 2019's Balakot strike was a game changer. India walked straight into Pakistani territory, dropped bombs on terror camps, and walked out like nothing happened. It shattered Pakistan's nuclear bluff into pieces, but it also showed India some brutal truths. Lack of coordination, slow intelligence sharing, missing tech. Now, India's defense budget exploded by 82%. The Rafales are in the sky. Meteor missiles can snipe targets 150 kilometers out. The S-400s can smoke any Pakistani plane the moment it leaves the runway. This isn't the old India waiting around. This is the new India preparing to end fights before they even start.
It has also upgraded other platforms. Long-range missiles and bombs have been integrated into the Su-30 jets, like the Astra, India's homegrown long-range air-to-air missile, and the BrahMos, a supersonic cruise missile that has 99.99% accuracy. Apache attack helicopters are now in the ranks. The transport fleet has newer aircraft. So India has invested in its offensive capabilities. What about defense? India did not have its best anti-aircraft system in 2019, but now it is fully operational. I'm talking about the S-400 air defense system. They can take down targets 400 kilometers away, which is basically every Pakistani airbase. Every Pakistani airbase is in range. The S-400 was missing in 2019, but now it is fully deployed. And these are just a handful of upgrades. A lot has changed since Balakot. India's surveillance network has expanded with satellites and drones. Procurement for the armed forces has significantly increased. We already told you about the Air Force's purchases. The Army and Navy have also made major procurements, like the Pinaka rocket systems, aircraft carriers and nuclear submarines. Even the infrastructure has been expanded. Border roads are wider. Air bases and logistical hubs have been upgraded. Weapons manufacturing has seen a 174% rise. 174%. And you know what has been the biggest change in the last few years? The mindset. The political will to strike back and the military's resolve to hit with precision. Since Balakot, India's approach has been clear. Offense is the best defense. It is a signal to Islamabad. India's patience is not its weakness. India is ready to respond to terrorism on its terms and at a time of its choosing.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
No, I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.
The skies are roaring. The message is clear. India's not backing down. It's gearing up to strike first and strike hard. If you thought 2019 was big, just wait. The next move? It's coming at Mach speed. Smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, share this with someone who needs to see India's power, and make sure you're subscribed, because this story is only heating up.